What's up, everybody? So today's video is about the loneliness of forging your own path. Um, I think in most cases, most of the time, if you have a purpose, if you have goals that you're striving towards, you often think that, or have, because you grew up with a whole lot of your friends that have always supported you, your family that's always supported you, people around you, you have maybe that safety, or at least that's what I had. You kind of have this mentality that even in your later stages of life, that's probably how it's always going to be, because when you're a child, I guess everyone is with you because they it's the potential maybe that they see in you. Could be the potential, it could be the fact that they really see you talented, gifted, and whatnot. And of course, you're always gonna have that support, that from your friends, from your family, and whatnot. But there's a stage or a phase that you reach that becomes very still. Not because you're necessarily doing bad, or not because you're not doing enough, not because you're doing something wrong, but rather because you're figuring it out. Because that stillness sort of makes you come back to yourself. And that's the first and foremost part of things. And when that happens, or at least if you feel like there's a greater cause for it or a purpose, there's this isolation that you go through. I'm currently going through it right now. I'm not as close as I was to a whole lot of people, a bunch of people. I'm not as forthcoming to them, and they're not as forthcoming to me. And I get it, I understand. There comes a point where everyone has to focus on their own journey. When you're a young adult, when you're when you're building that bridge to get where you want to go, that just naturally happens. And that's okay. And so, this being said, it's important to note that this is for people that are forging their own path, in a sense of nobody in your family has ever done this before. Nobody in your friend group is doing what you're doing, or nobody in your friend group could understand what you're doing, or what you're trying to build, or who you're trying to be, where you're trying to get to. This is for people that are like breaking generational curses, that are breaking cycles that they've seen from their family, or even just like cycles that you see from your peers, people around you. And this is this isolation that I'm speaking of. And when I say people that are forging their own path, I mean, you don't really have anyone to look up to in what you're doing and what you're trying to build in your life, because nobody in your family's doing it. Nobody from your friends is doing it. So you kind of left with this silence, this void, where you can't necessarily speak to it about people, because you know that nobody's gonna get it. And even if they can probably sympathize, or maybe could try to understand, but you know that they're not gonna get it as much as you do. They're not gonna really feel you and then sort of be there on your journey. They can watch, maybe support, but it's not really as as if it feels like you're slaying the dragon with someone by your side, but rather you're just faced with the dragon alone. And I don't know. There is that isolation. That's number one. Then number two, there's the isolation that when you're on your path, nobody's clapping for you. Nobody's supporting you physically. Nobody is giving you handouts. And I'll make an example for myself. So with this whole content thing, I've been contemplating it for the last 2 years. I'd stop. And mainly the biggest reason was for me that I really thought that people around me would support me, like my friends, people that maybe knew me, people maybe I was acquainted to, and stuff like that. And so I guess I would just really be disheartened by the fact that, like I'd post stuff or I'd do things, I'd share my things, and nobody would really, support me like that. Like, yeah, sure, maybe there'd be like one or two. And even after a while, though, those one or two people would end up just kind of like fading out. And then it felt like I was doing something that's not going anywhere because I wasn't getting the validation from anyone that was near me, around me. And so that would really be disheartening. And I really wish that like I figured it out earlier, that you wouldn't, or I wouldn't get like the support from people like that. I really wish I figured that out soon, because if I did, I would have just carried on. I would have just, and really not expect to look for that in other people, and just sort of find it in myself and realize that all the support and love I'd get was from people that are way outside of my zone, my circle, my scope, And I guess in a way this is me telling you to just never mind that. Never in fact expect that you will not get it. And if you do, that's just extra brownie points, extra points for you on the side that you can just have. But if you really just don't expect it and just carry on forging your way forward, be your own light. Be the person that lights the candle, the fire. Let it come from you. Be your own navigator. If I could just tell somebody that, and let it resonate with them, and let it sit with them, and let it be sort of your own mantra that you say to yourself every day, it will be that, is that when you're forging your own path, you are the light, you are the sun, you are the candle, you are what you need on the journey. You don't need anybody else's validation. You don't need people to applaud you. You don't need people to see what you're doing, to recognize you, because you're your own light. And I hate the fact that like our animal bodies are just taught how to survive in a sense of being in groups. And that's such an innate thing that like you cannot overlook. It's real, it happens. But if you can just look past that animal instinct of yours of wanting to feel seen and feel like you belong, like you're getting recognized, and just look past it and realize that all the answers are within you. If you just realize that all the answers are within you, that you're your own light, you're your own sun. It doesn't matter how long it takes for you to really find the answers on your journey, because you know that you trust your body, You trust your senses, you trust your instincts, you trust your own brain, you trust whatever life is revealing to you at the time. And I guess the human desire all the time is just like speed, rushing, and I'm a victim of this. I want to see things to like to see things happening now, to see them manifesting now. I want to see what I'm doing, that I'm headed in the right place, because I need proof that I'm doing something right. And you know, and I guess that's sometimes my downfall. Actually, that's my biggest downfall, and that or life has taught me to really trust in the path that I'm forging. And that's the thing about the word forging, is that you're forging it. It takes time. When you forge something, you're building it from scratch, and you're you're making something out of it. You're making it beautiful. It's if you were making it, or I don't know, but it there's just some power behind the word forging, because it basically kind of says that it's not going to be easy, because obviously you're building something. When you forge something, it makes it honorable, it makes it prestige, and the word again, sacred, you know. So in this video, my intention was to let you know that you're not doing anything wrong. You're you're not you're not behind, you're not late. You're not you're not alone, in a sense, because I know what it's like to battle with that loneliness while you're on your journey. I know what it's like to feel isolated, like so far from the world, so far from everybody, so far from your peers and everyone that's right next to you or within your scope. And it's okay. It's okay to feel alone. It's okay to feel isolated as well. It's okay to not have all the answers and feel like you figured it all out. It's okay. It's okay to take your time. It's okay to stop. It's okay to rest. It's okay, because you're forging your own path. And it gets really, really lonely. But you're going to be the one smiling at the end. You're going to be the one that makes it. And you're going to be the one that breaks all cycles, breaks all generational traumas, breaks all the generational curses. You're going to be the one that achieves everything that you've set your life towards. Bye, everybody.